Today we are going to discuss some basic concept of Linux like installation in Red Hat, or you can say in Linux, how we can install some softwares. So today, and the next topic is what we are going to cover is server and client architecture. Okay. So what is the software and why we install? So first thing that I want to check that is I am audible to all. If yes, then please comment. I can see all the comments that you are typing there. Okay. So I will wait for your message. Yes or no. Is my voice is audible? Uh, till now I'm getting only one message. That is from Vidhushi Jha. Yes. And others, are you getting my voice? Okay. Now I'm getting yes. Okay. Good. That is good. So now, first thing that we have to cover is software installation. In Red Hat, you can say, or you can say in Ubuntu or any type of system. Okay. So now, what is the software? Or you can say package also, like software is equals to package in Linux. Like in Windows, whenever you install a software, like suppose TeamViewer and any Google Chrome web browser, software. Behind that software, that is written in any language to run that on your system. Okay, I think you cannot see my screen. Can see now? Can you all see my screen? So just I'm waiting. Now, if you want to increase my font size more, also. Okay, now it's good. Okay, we can. Okay. So in Windows is equals to package in Linux means software and package एक ही बात होता है. But how we can install all the software that we need into our Linux system? That is the main. Okay, please speak louder. Okay, now I'm speaking the loud. If you can hear me now, Devansh Soni. Okay, so now what we have to do is how first we have the concept of installation of software in any OS. Using a Windows OS, how you install? You will Google it. Like suppose you want to install Chrome web browser. So what we are doing, Google Chrome install in and it's exe file. If you know that exe file, and you will double click that, and that will install for you. But that is in Windows system. Okay. But the main thing is how we can install in Linux. The same thing that you are doing in the Windows as well as you can do in the Red Hat, but as well as this is a Linux system. So what we can do is we can do everything is by command line. Command line, you all know that is command line, that I'm running a command that is date line. Now the thing is how can you install the software? So in Red Hat Linux, we have a utility or a command that is yum. Okay. For Ubuntu machines, you have to use apt utility. That's the name of command to install the package. But in Red Hat, we have to use yum. I will tell you the both of them, like Ubuntu and Red Hat. So no problem in that. First, we are going with the Red Hat only. So there is a command that is called yum. It will do everything for you in the software management too. Okay. So how can we use? So suppose in Linux, what they have done, like suppose you have 5,000 softwares. Okay. Now what you can do is you can just place all these software in one URL. You all know about URL. If you know, I think universal resource locator, not about full form. you have to know about a URL. Like suppose there is a website called facebook.com. So that is the URL of that website. Okay. So what Linux does is, Linux persons does is, they actually combine all the software on only and place on one. Suppose there is a link called packages.example.com. Suppose that there is no any actually URL. This is suppose for that. So there is a packages.example.com, and in that link, suppose we have 5,000 of software that is of different kind. Now you do not have to Google it every time. Like suppose you want to install some web server, or you want to install some FTP server, or you want to make a DNS or DHCP. So for all the software, you have to go onto the one link only. So that's the Linux power. Means they all specify all the packages only on one link, or you can say multiple link also, but there is a separate thing. So now, but how can we configure yum in our system? So whenever you talk about yum, we have to give them a link that all are the software. So if you try to go to the link, that is, if you can see my screen, wait a second. If you can see my screen, that is mir.centos.org. That Red Hat only, I'm specifying specially Red Hat. If you want to install any, you just have to go to only. After that, you have to select your OS you are using. So I'm using CentOS. You can say the same thing. Okay. Now, which version of OS you are using? Red Hat 7. So I have to find the 7 named. Now, the main thing that I have to install is OS packages, that is operating system packages. So I have to click on OS. Now we get a link. If you can see, I will copy that and paste it for you here. Now, this link and suppose this link also 86 underscore 64. Now we are on the same link that I written there on. Now you can see there are some files. Okay, there are two major two things that you have. There is a package folder. If you can see on my screen, that is package folder. Are you getting my little bit distortion? Okay, I will get okay. Now, okay. So you have to focus only two things: packages and repo data. You can see the packages folder also and repo data also. So if I open the packages folder, you can see there are lots of software that is kept. Okay, these are the 10,000 number of software. So you do not have to worry about of any package in Red Hat only. Now, how yum means yum को कैसे पता चले को install यहाँ से करना. So the main thing, configure our yum utility into our system. But the thing is, how can you configure that? So there is a directory in Red Hat system. You can change your directory by cd command slash etc yum.repos.d. Now this is the directory there we have to configure yum utility. For that we have to install some software or packages at the same time. Okay. Now we are gotten into this directory. Now you find something interesting here. You in your system there is nothing except redhat.com. Okay, there is a file that is redhat.com only, but now you have to make a new file, or you can say new configuration for yum. Now how can we configure that, or how can we make that file? We do not have to know about any coding or anything. Just we have to make a file by vim editor, or you can say gedit editor. You can take any. I'm taking here vim only. Vim is also a text editor. So vim, now you have to give the file name. Sorry for that, I'm checking your chat also. Okay, now is there any problem in voice or screen? Please tell me yes or no. Is there any problem in my voice? After that, I will continue that yum part. No problem. So, I'm making a file with the name of regex. Okay, and but while you are configuring yum utility, you have to make sure the file name should be anything, but the extension should be .repo every time. No, sir, everything is fine. Okay, no problem. Okay, your voice is cutting. Okay, I'll check that. Okay, so we are making a file with the name of regex. You can take any name, but make sure you have to give the extension of .repo because yum only reads the file which have the .repo extension. Okay, now we are making this file. What you have to type here, the first thing that you have to type, that is square bracket. You have to give a name to the yum that you are repository, or you can say configuring yum. So I have given the name by regex repo. Suppose मैंने कोई भी नाम दे दिया, that is regex repo. You can give any name, but the thing that you have to manage here, you cannot run numeric one special character like these. Okay, type here numeric ones and this. So suppose if I do not type here and give directly regex repo, this is the first line that we have to configure. Now in the second line, what we have to configure is we have to give him the URL where all the packages are kept. So in the case of ours, we have a link that I told you earlier in the class, that is copied and pasted. Are you okay? Okay, are you getting this? Okay, so base URL equals to the link where we kept all the files. Now this is the link. If I show you this link, there are some files and packages. So you can see there are packages. In that we have 5,000 plus, you can say, and there is a repo data. So suppose take an example. If in front of you there are 5,000 people are standing, how can you identify that? Is there any Ankit? That is the thing. It will take time to find. But if you make them in a group and make a group leader, you can easily find out in which group Ankit is. So that's the thing is repo data doing. Repo data have only 10 to 12 and all the data of packages folder. Are you getting my thing that that I take an example? Uh, okay, that is slow. So I'm giving one example of yum, that is suppose in front of you have 5,000 people. Now you have to find where is Ankit is standing. So it will take time to search for. But suppose you make them in a group of suppose like 500 in one and make them one leader role. So you can easily find out where Ankit is. So that's the thing is a repo data. Like if repo data you have 10 files, and in 10 files all the procedure we have given of packages. So if I give this link only, you can see. And now the next and the main thing that you have to understand, what is GPG check. GPG check is like whenever you try to install a software in Windows, it may ask for the key or activation key like. Okay, so that you have to disable here. GPG check equals to 0 means we are disabling that key or activation part in our installation time. If you press 1 here, that means you can give a key. Suppose if I press 1 here, now suppose you are installing some software using yum in Red. Whenever you every time whenever you install the software, it will ask for you a key or active key like that. But we do not want to give any key, so that's why we have to write here gpg check equals to 0. So this is the part of yum configuration. Are you getting that? means how we can configure yum utility to install the software in Red Hat machine. This is the file that you have to make for installation only. Now you can install anything in your system. Like suppose you want to install web server or any package like FTP server, or you want to install some DNS kind of thing, you can directly install that after making this file. Now, but the thing is, how can you check more about that? So suppose if I save this file, and there is a command called cat, if you know cat, it will show you all on the terminal only of a file. You can see we have made a file that is of yum configuration, and this is data of that only. That is, suppose you want to install FTP server. So FTP server in Red Hat has the package name VSFTPD. If all modules with this for DevOps, you cannot install all modules with this, but there are some links that you, if you make a yum for them, then you can install that. Like suppose Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, like that. Okay. Now, so suppose you want to install FTP server in your Red Hat. So it has the software package name that is by VSFTPD. What is the meaning of VSFTPD? That is very secure file transfer protocol. Are you getting this now? Secure file transfer protocol, and D for is daemon. It's a kind of service only. So this is take the package name, and now we have to yum install VSF. Okay, do yum install VSFTP. It will install you FTP server. Just you have to click there. So what you got? Package, package VSFTPD 3.0 is the version already installed and latest version. Now you got the idea how can you install a software in Red Hat. Suppose you want take a try on another. So there is a website that is HTTPD. There is I think all of HTTP. There is hypertext transfer that we can use to go onto a website. That is a unit that all of you know about. So no, this session is not for DevOps, but you have to learn Linux. That's why we are going to learn this servers. Uh, After completion of Linux, I will start the teaching of DevOps. Have you got your point now? After completion of Linux system, I think it will take hardly 1 or 2 class today and tomorrow. Then I can start DevOps. Okay, so be with us. Yum install HTTPD. So if you try to install, then it's also giving HTTPD already installed. Now the thing is you cannot see how I install the software. So what I am doing is I'm removing a software that is pre-installed. So how can you remove or delete or uninstall a software? That is yum remove HTTPD. Okay. Now see, it will asking you for yes or no confirmation. So if you press Y here, now it will delete all the HTTPD software. But if you press N here, that is me, it will not delete. So I want to delete. So just press yes, sorry, Y, and enter it. Now you can use see the HTTPD is removed from your system. Now what I have to see is I have to install it again. Yum install HTTPD. So now you can see it will asking downloading yes, no, and so for your convenience, today's question you have to know that if I press yes, sorry, why, that is mean it will download the software and install that. But if I press N, it will not install or not download. But you have to have to that what is the meaning of D here? Can you see what is the meaning of this? Either we can install or we can uninstall, or while we are installing, we can yes or no. But here D, you have to find out that tomorrow. Okay, so I'm installing that by so that and install. So it will take to the internet speed, install it in your system. So we have 5 to 6 seconds to install it. In the meantime, we can just ask you the question, have you got the idea that how we can install any software? So just press yes or no. If you have any doubt, I will tell you again. Another app is currently holding the yum because you run the command yum and didn't close that command. That's why. So you are getting a PID kind of thing. So you can kill and PID number. It will do work for you. Okay, Devansh? Now we have successfully installed that. So the thing, whenever we try to install any software, you can see that is now installed. But the thing is, how can you check that whether it is successfully installed or this is the main thing that you have to check. Not every time, just for learning. So there is a command that you know about RP, Red Hat Package Manager, or you can say Resource Package Manager. Okay. Now we are querying from RPM that if you have the HTTP package installed or not. Now what is telling HTTPD this version? Now the thing that you have to know is that is installed. Suppose I remove HTTPD and press -y. What is the meaning of -y? Because whenever I hit enter, now it will ask me for the confirmation. But the confirmation I am giving right now here. So that's why it will not ask me any confirmation. Now if you try to check, the package HTTPD is not installed. Okay, so this is how you can install the package like yum install HTTPD. And again, yum, how to check that? That is by rpm-q HTTPD. Now it is installed. So have you got the idea how to install, how to remove, how to check whether it is installed or not? Okay, I will be slow now. So give me a yes or no. Have you understand that? How to install the package, remove that package, and verify that package. So I'm waiting for your confirmation only. So if you have any doubt, I can clear you now because this is the main thing that you have to understand because of DevOps. Means in DevOps you have to learn these things. Without this, you cannot run or install any software. Then what is the meaning of? So that's why. Okay. So I'm getting yes, yes, yes. Only from two. Okay, no problem there. So this is the main step, or you can say foremost step to learn Yum or to install any package. But there are something more in RPM, or you can say Yum. Suppose you're installing software in Windows system. What you can download, and that you can see a .exe file if you know about or if you remember that. But in Red Hat, we have .rpm file. What that mean is you can say resource package manager. Sorry for this. Now resource package. So this is the difference between Windows and Linux. So if you want to install something, then PD, and if you want to install then yum remove HTTPD. It like it will remove everything for you. But now thing, suppose you are installing something. Now you have what packages or files the software will install in C. Are you getting the point? Suppose whenever you install the package in C drive in Windows, you have to check that like when you next, it will install something in your system. So what are the files and folders and where they are stored? You can check by a command only. Okay. So there is a command that is rpm-ql. I will tell you what is the meaning of QL here. That is RPM is the command, hyphen Q for querying, L for list. Means all the files and folders that are installed by default installed by HTTPD. So this is the thing that you can know how to mean about which configuration file is installed by software. So you have to just L by C. What is the meaning of C? That is configuration file. So RPM hyphen QC space HTTPD. It will work for you to check all the configuration that HTTPD have or HTTPD installed in your. Okay. Now you can see these are the main configuration file of HTTPD software that is installed by. Okay, are you getting this? All of you who are the watching my YouTube live stream, everyone is getting all the things. Just give me comment yes or no. If no, then I will do it for you again. Buffering that will not buffer from now. It is the internet issue only. Just your voice and screen clear. Yes or no? Just. Then I will continue. Okay. Okay. So how can you check all the configuration file by RQC and the software name? You can see all the configuration file from here only. Done. Now you can use to remove a software by this command, but there is also one command rpm-e and the software. Now I told you about how to remove a software in sometime previously that yum remove any software name, suppose software name. But there is another command that we can use to remove a software, that is rpm-e and software name. Hyphen e for erasing some. To know more about that, just use rpm space hyphen help. So if I on help, you can see here, if you check option here, then you can see the e. So if you check that side, so if you want to erase something, you can see, okay. So RPM HTTPD. It will remove the software. Suppose if you want to recheck that is installed or not, HTTPD is not installed. But today's second question is, what is the difference between these two commands? You have to find out till tomorrow. You have time till tomorrow. That is yum remove software name and rpm hyphen e software name. Okay, you have to find out what is the difference between these two commands. Both moving the packet, but what is the difference? So we have two questions. First one about while we are installing that, what is, and second one is what is the different command. Okay, now we have to learn now today second agent server and server and client architecture. Okay. I know that is hyphen E for removing the installed software. No, no, no. It will not remove the install because it is already installed. If a software is installed that you can remove and RPM hyphen E. But what is the meaning? I'm asking. Okay. Now, the second point that we have to learn for DevOps is server-client architecture. What is the meaning? Suppose you are, what is server and client? Have you know all that what is server? Server is just a service that is requested by client and server will fulfill that. Suppose you want to go onto a website that is facebook.com. So you want to go to there. So you are the client that is requesting from the Facebook server that we have to get to the facebook.com. And now you have to type your username or password. Then if you try to log in that, it will send the request to the servers of Facebook that they have to authenticate your username, and after that only you can get to see your Facebook login. Sorry, not login, your profile page. So this is how server and client architecture work. Suppose this is a server and here it is client. If client requests something from the server, it have to respond. So this is called server and client architecture. There is no rocket science in that. Just you have to know about server and client. That is, client have to request from the server. Server we have to fulfill that request. Now we have to learn some servers in Linux, like first one is web server. That is, you can say Apache web server. We have multiple server like a web server, remote server that we have to learn, and one more that is FTP. So we have to know about these three servers because this will work in your future also while we are learning DevOps. These all three are the main important. So today we have to complete the web server, that is Apache server. Yes, web server means any website. And today I will tell you how to host by using Apache web server. So, all of you guys that is online now, what is networking or what is IP address? Can you tell me yes or no? What is IP address and how we can check? In Windows, you have to check like right click problems like that will come the IP address. CMD में लिखो IP config, तो आपका IP आ जाता है. Now in Linux, how can you check the IP? Does anyone know about IP address? Just comment yes or no if you know about that. Hello. Okay, okay. It's correct now. So now what you have to do is you have to just check your IP address. So my IP address is I think this. So if I will copy that and I will try to make my a web server. Okay. So how can you have to install a web server package that is HTTPD only. That is Apache web server. Now, whenever you install a web server and whenever you host a web, it will take the port number that 80 every time because 80 port number is belongs to HTTP. If you make any website, we have to use 80 port number, and it will take the by default also. So there are the major three things that we have to remember about any server. The step one to install the package. This is the first step that you have. This is the main and the foremost step any command. Sorry, run any web server or any server. The main second, if you want to change in configuration file you can do in the second step. Now the third step, that is the last step, that restart the service, or you can start the service of Apache web server, package name HTTP. Now if you remember all these three steps, you can configure any server in the any server means any server. So from today we have to learn Apache web server, that we have to configure our website. So what you have to do is, first step is to install the package. The package name for Apache web server is HTTPD. Okay. So if I want to install that, just click on that. It will install for you. So the first step is to install the package of that server. So it will take time to install. In the meantime, I can ask you that, are you getting my voice or any topic? If you are not understanding, yes or no. If you have any doubt, tell me now. Yes or no? Do you have any kind of doubt? Just tell me. If you do not have any doubt, then also message. Then I can understand that you are understanding my. Okay, no problem. So after installing or after doing the first step, we have to use the second step. Okay, no doubt. But I told you how to check the configuration file by QC of this one. So this is the main configuration file of web server, that is of HTTP. But in web server, what we have to make is, we have to make the content, if you know. So Firefox, and I will tell you that what is the meaning of end here. Now, so you have to make content that you want to show in your web. So there is a direct slash, or you can search. If you do not remember that directory every time, you rpm -ql http. It will take. Uh, Here is a directory that is used making HTML file. You know about index.html. Suppose you want to show your content, you have to write a code of in HTML into this directory only. So I'm going to this directory, that is where www.html, and here I can see something like that. So I will just make a index.html. You have to make it every time. Suppose you want to show your content, so you have to make a index.html file in the location of where slash www. So index.html, this is empty. Now write what you have to show to others. Like suppose you want to show, hi, this is from Reg online Linux class of servers. Suppose I want to show this kind of thing to my viewers. So if I have to save that file, this is the second step. If you remember all these three, that is step one, to install the package. Second step is to change. If you want to change the conf file, then you can. If you want, I change it to index.html to show you the content. Now the last start the service. Okay, so service, we have to know about the name of the service. In most of the cases, the service name is equals to package name, but in 90% case only. But here there is a command that is called systemctl start and the service name. By default in HTTPD software, there is a service name by the its name. So we can start it by this. But this is the best practice to check it every time by the command of systemctl status httpd that its service is running or not. So if you try to check, that is, you can see active. That means your service of Apache web server is running. Now what we have to just do is take an IP and copy that IP into your browser. Copy and paste it on your browser only. So now what you will see is your content, your website, your web server that you configure till now, only in the three steps. What that steps are: step one, to install the software; second, change the con file; third, make start the service. In these three steps, we can configure our web server. Here is the thing. Just you have to copy your IP to the web browser, and you can see directly that the thing that you have written in your index.html file. Suppose you want to change the content, so just you have to go and index.html. Suppose I delete that file and type something else like online class. So whenever I try to save that my page, you can see the content changed now. Are you getting these things? There is a server in Linux that we have to configure. We today only. So have you got any doubt? If you just tell me yes or no. You have to understand for DevOps also. Because in DevOps, every time we have to make web servers on. So that's why I'm focusing on the main. So the first step I told you installing. Second step I also told you about changing the configuration. And third step to start the service. But here is the thing. Suppose this is and I have to restart my my machine. So whenever I reboot my machine, it will not run because of whenever you try to check the status of Apache, sorry, HTTPD, we'll get to know that there active okay. To reboot that, it will not run. For that thing, we have to enable the HTTPD. Enable means whenever you reboot, automatically restart our system, our service. So that is the main thing that we have. Now, if you try to refresh that, you will get to know that we are getting a web server. So this is for today that we have to learn, that is server and Yum configuration. If you have any doubt, you can ask now because we are wrapping up the class. So what you have to do today is two questions. First one is to find out dmean in yum install command. And I forgot that second one. I think you guys are know. Question on the WhatsApp group also. Oh, I got that. What is the difference between E software name and yum remove software name? Just you have to tell me the difference between them and find out the meaning of D while you are installing the any software. Okay, you have to do it tomorrow till tomorrow. So thanks for attending the live class of Linux. Bye bye. Have a great day. Thank you.